Hey, it's Dave the Butterfly Guy here. It's August, my favorite month of the summer. My garden's in full bloom. There's lots of action with butterflies, so I want to spend the next few minutes walking through my garden, giving you an update on what's going on, what plants are attracting what butterflies. So sit down, enjoy, and let's get going. So this front part of my garden, I've got some phlox plants. They've been in bloom for a few weeks now. I've got some white ones over here, some purple ones here. They attract a lot of different butterflies. And then in front of it, I've got my marigolds, which I set those in for kind of a fence to keep rabbits out, but they haven't helped keep any rabbits out. But the marigolds are pretty also. I have three types of milkweed in my garden. I've got the common milkweed, world milkweed, and then this is butterfly weed. So the butterfly weed it always comes up later in June, so it's not one of the early plants, it's a late bloomer. And the rabbits nibbled on it a little bit, so I'm not getting quite as much action from my butterfly weed this year, but it's a host plant for the monarch, and it's really beautiful when it's in bloom. I think I've got a neat picture of a monarch on the butterfly weed I'm going to share with you in a I do have a butterfly feeder too. In here I put a sugar combination where they can put their proboscis down into it, but also I keep some fruit. It's kind of rotten cantaloupe and tangerines right now. Hasn't attracted much for butterflies this summer, but rotten fruit is one way to get butterflies to your garden. All right, I've got a coneflower here. It's a hybrid. It has this beautiful orange and red, and it's been really a great attractor for pollinators this year. And I've got a great shot of an eastern tiger swallowtail on this, and so I hope you enjoy that shot. This part of my garden's where my purple coneflowers are, and I planted just, I think, 3 plants years ago, but it's just exploded with the mild summer and all the rain we've had this summer, and now I have purple coneflowers everywhere. It does attract a lot of butterflies. I think I have shots for you to see of the giant swallowtail, a fritillary, a red admiral, cloudless sulfurs, all enjoying the purple coneflowers. So here I have some Liatris, and Liatris blooms from the top down, and you can see it's coming to the end. It really started to bloom in early and mid-July, and you get about a month of blooms out of the Liatris. I think I've got a nice shot of a monarch on the Liatris. It's a cool plant. I wish it bloomed for longer, but it only lasts about a month. In this little stretch of the garden, I planted some Nasturtiums. They've been in bloom since July. They're really cool. I haven't seen much action for pollinators around them, but they've added some nice color with the yellows and oranges and reds in the garden. And it's behind this little patch of goldenrod, which is just starting to come in bloom. And we have like the whole back part of the yard is full of goldenrod, and it's great for pollinators and really pretty as you get into August. All right, I've got some butterfly bush along the back side of my garden. It's grew up tall this summer, and I think I've got some nice shots of monarchs, giant swallowtails, and eastern tiger swallows gravitating to the butterfly bush. So here I have some Joe-Pyed Weed. I haven't seen pollinators around it till this summer. It's my third season, and it finally got some nice blooms and it's attracting some bees. And I haven't seen butterflies on it, but I look forward to seeing this continue to get pollinators to it in the next couple summers. All right, this is my area for the Black Swallowtail. I have a bunch of host plants, including two different types of parsley. I've got some dill and some rue. All those are the host plants for the Black Swallowtail. And I've got some pictures for you of caterpillars on the parsley and on the dill that are kind of cool. And so I hope you enjoy those. Here I've got some sedums. They bloom late in the year, end of August, September, October. They're just starting to change and bloom a little bit right now, but really September is the month where the sedums look spectacular. Over here I have some zinnias. It's my favorite annual plant to attract butterflies. They bloom nicely, been in bloom since early July, and they'll bloom right through the end of the summer, so it's great. I think I've got some great pictures for you of the black swallowtail, the giant swallowtail, the eastern tiger swallow, and monarchs. They all enjoy zinnias. All right, I planted this giant hyssop plant earlier in the summer. It's blooming white, and in fact, it's almost done blooming, but it's a really cool flower. It's been my first summer with it, and I look forward to next summer with this hyssop getting bigger, with more blooms, attracting more butterflies. All right, this is my Meadow Liatris. This is what I'm most excited about this summer. This Meadow Liatris takes a couple years to bloom, but when it blooms, it attracts monarchs like nothing else in my garden. So I've got a cool shot of you with a bunch of monarchs on the Meadow Liatris. So excited to have it bloom. Again, it'll probably last a month or so. It goes from the top to the bottom like the other Liatris does. And you can see it's working its way down the stem in the blooms. So here I have my Blackeyed Susans. You can see they're in full bloom right now. They've been in bloom for over a month, and they really anchor the front part of my garden. Behind it, I have the Meadow Liatris, and I planted some zinnia plants. And so this is really a great entryway for my garden with these spectacular Blackeyed Susans. Thanks for joining me on the tour of my garden in August when things are in bloom, attracting tons of pollinators. That's all I got today. It's Dave the Butterfly Guy signing out. Hope you've had a great summer, and we'll see you in September.